important reason, by the way. I'm going to drop a history lesson on you. It was formed at the Constitutional Convention of 1787 for the express purpose of the largest cities not deciding for the entire country. All right, LA County, New York City, and Miami could literally choose the president in every single election, even if every other human being voting in America voted for the opposite candidate. Those three places, having the majority vote to one candidate, means that candidate would win. That's why the Electoral College was formed, and why each state is assigned a certain number of votes, and it adds up to a certain number. And it is so the city with 500,000 people, or a county with 200,000 people, have the same say. Their vote is equal to that of an entire city voting in one direction, voting in for one candidate. That's why. And speaking of Hillary Clinton winning the popular vote and losing the election, does anybody else really still like seeing that video that goes around where they have it's the videos from that night in 2016 when they were all crying on air? Rachel Maddow she's sitting there, like this, and literally crying, and it's hysterical. Does anybody else just get happy when they read it and see it? Because I do. I absolutely love it. Anyway, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to push this side bill so they can turn around and subvert your Constitution and screw you out of your vote. And they're doing this because Hillary lost the election despite winning the popular vote. And all those people whining and crying, it was beautiful. But they want to change our Constitution, and they want to do it away. And that's going to be detrimental to our elections. It's going to be detrimental to our country. Even if just those three states do it, it's all over. It's done. Colorado has 9 of the electoral votes. New Mexico has 6. New Jersey has 14. New Jersey has 14 electoral votes. And now they want to further subvert it and destroy what our founding fathers left behind, who we owe everything to. We owe absolutely everything to them. They left behind the great experiment, which turned into be the most powerful, freest, and greatest nation that has ever existed. They literally went to war against the strongest standing army, farmers, pottery makers, blacksmiths, everyday people, the people that there's modern day jobs of, the machine workers, the truck drivers. It's those people that we see every day banded together and fought against the strongest standing army in the world at the time. And man, it must suck to be British and know that your nation went from one of the strongest empires in the entire world, controlling 3/4 of the planet, to living on an island marginally larger than Manhattan and really having no influence outside of it. That must suck to be British. And I don't care if they hear me say that either, because, well, they're the British. What they think or say hasn't mattered since 1776. Anyway, never forget that Washington, on Christmas Eve in sub-zero temperatures, led several hundred men across a frozen river at 3 a.m. to pick a fight and shoot the British. I still love that fact. So it must suck to be British, but we don't really care what they think. And now here we are today. The scum of the earth socialists are in power. They're in your halls of Congress. And no one's doing anything about it. And we have our favorite misfiring brain cell, Cortez, leading the charge with her socialist boy toy, Bernie. And she's literally telling people she's the boss. Think about this. An elected U.S. official says she's the boss. No, sorry, Ocasio-Cortez, or whatever your stupid name is. You're an elected official. You work for us, a government by the people and for the people. And people have forgotten that. You people have forgotten that. Everybody's kind of let that little fact go. And it's not acceptable anymore. She's telling moderates. All right? And the moderates today are the old school, good heart, misguided Democrats. The good heart Democrats, also known as the useful idiots. She's telling the moderate original Democrats that are still in Congress that she's putting them on a list and she will unseat them. Somebody else said that they will unseat the elected officials before them if they don't get on board, that they will remove them from office. That's what she's saying. All right, she's saying she's going to unseat them. She's saying she's going to remove the moderates from Congress. Ocasio-Cortez, an elected U.S. official, is telling you, the U.S. citizen, the taxpayer, that she is the boss. And she's telling the Democrats in Congress who are not as radical as her, and they're getting fewer every single day and every midterm election. And this is one of the reasons we need to have term limits. We have people that have been in Congress for 30 and 40 years. The president can get a max of 8 years, but you're telling me that a congresswoman or a congressman can just stay? They can just keep getting reelected? No, I'm sorry, that should not be. All right? No matter what you do, if you put an apple in a basket, no matter how good of an apple it is, eventually that apple is going to go rotten. It just is. And we need term limits in Congress. And we have Ocasio-Cortez saying that she's going to remove moderates from Congress. She literally said verbatim that she is putting them on the list. And we know another one of our favorite socialists that did that. His name is Hitler. And regardless of how often President Trump is called literally Hitler, Ocasio-Cortez is literally the same party as Hitler. Nazi stood for National Socialist Workers' Party. All right? Hitler was a socialist. So it's just so ironic that the left keeps calling us Nazis and punch a Nazi and all that crap, and that our president is literally Hitler. But she pushes the same things Hitler does, like socialized medicine, forceful confiscation of guns, insanely higher than we already pay, which is already higher than it should be, taxes. She wants to tax us at 70%. And if you let her get away with that, very, very quickly it's going to become 75, and then 80, and then 85, and then 90, and then 95, and eventually it's just going to be 100%, period. You know she wants to do it. She's a socialist, and that's what Hitler pushed to do. We're losing the country to these people. It's very simple. We're losing the country to the left. And they're becoming emboldened, and they're becoming so emboldened because the spineless Republicans in Congress are letting them get away. They are letting them get away with it, and I cannot figure out for the life of me how or why this party got to that point. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but it's happened. And if we don't do something about it, we are going to lose the country. They've been getting away with so much election fraud. If you remember, in the last midterm election, voting closed in Florida, and the Democrats lost. Of course they lost in Florida. It's full of Pennsylvanians. Be serious. Excuse me. But they lost, and then they kept finding votes. They kept finding votes. The Democrats kept voting until they won. The Democrat won after they finally finished Democrat voting. If you remember, they kept finding, we found 25,000 more votes. There's videos on YouTube outside of the voting stations 2 days and 3 days and a week after of them carrying boxes, literally big cardboard like paper boxes, out to their car. You can look at it yourself on YouTube. It's there. Literally, they are carrying boxes of votes out to their car and sticking them in the trunks of their car. And people questioning them and then shooing them away. And voting didn't stop in Florida until the Democrats won. We let them get away with so much election fraud. There was more arrests for election fraud during the last midterm election than there was in the previous 4 presidential elections combined. And now they're emboldened. They've come full swing, and they've come out, and they're flat out telling you they're pushing for socialism. They want socialism. They've come out full circle. They've come all the way around. They're doing it. There was so much election fraud. And then you combine that with the support of these useful idiots in these major cities. These people in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is a blue state. It's not. It's not. Harrisburg and Philadelphia are blue cities. The rest of Pennsylvania is a red state. But this is why, because remember, it's not like there's an electoral college for local elections. Who leads, Governor Wolf, is basically popular vote winning. Guess what? If you remove either of those cities, Harrisburg or Philadelphia, take your pick, leave the other one, take whichever one you want. we're a red state. We're a red state. It's plain as that. Go anywhere outside of the major cities, and you're hard pressed to see a feel the burn sticker or a Hillary sticker. And I love that sticker, by the way. I love feel the burn because it was their catchphrase when they thought he was going to win, and everybody kind of looked like he had a chance to win. And then after he lost to Clinton, and it was rigged. Remember, Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign, and she almost faced criminal charges for rigging the DNC primary for Clinton and Bernie losing it. And he didn't care. Of course Bernie didn't care. He was in it for the money. Bernie is a backdoor corrupt capitalist. If you remember, after the election was stolen from him for Clinton, and he didn't say crap, he didn't care. He jaunted away with all his money that he made, and he bought, there's pictures of him driving around, it's like a Lamborghini or a Porsche or some supercar, some stupid, overpriced, shiny phallic symbol with 2 chairs in it. And he bought a 3rd vacation house. That's why Bernie ran. That's why Bernie was in it, and we all know it. Well, everybody on the right knows it. Everybody on the left thought he had a serious chance, or that he actually cared about them, and he doesn't. Bernie, to me, is not really a threat. I'm not worried about Bernie. I'm worried about Ocasio-Cortez in Congress. I'm worried about, what's her name, Ihan, whatever, and Lisa Presley. I'm worried about them. I'm more worried about Congress than I am who runs for president, because remember, Congress can tie the president's hands. The president cannot tie Congress's hands, and like we just saw, even what's really amounts to executive orders can be undone with enough corrupt scumbag Democrats in Congress. For instance, trying to get this wall built. Why? Why do they not want the wall? They've wanted the wall for 30 years. They've wanted the wall forever. They gave Bill Clinton, when he spoke about a wall in 1996, even allotted money to it and started building it, and passed a bunch of strict laws, including separating children. By the way, the part of the Immigration Reformation and Improvement Act from Bill Clinton in 1996, which Democrats gave a standing ovation in Congress to, was separating families. Because before, we just arrested the whole border-jumping Klan and stuck them in jail till we tried the parents. We'd let the kids go, fucking send them with family, whatever we did with them. But we would arrest and charge the parents. And the Democrats didn't like that we were setting innocent children, and they are innocent, they're innocent children, to jail. And we were sending them to jail with their border-jumping criminal scum parents. So they passed that bill under Clinton. Bill Clinton was part of it. He's the one who gave the big speech in Congress and got the standing ovation. And he's the one who passed it. That is his thing. In fact, I'm pretty sure here's what it sounds like. Here's right there. That's what it sounded like. Yep. Sounded like that right there. Somewhere in there. Maybe like this. That's what it sounded like. When Bill Clinton passed the Immigration Reformation and Improvement Act, separating children from their border-jumping criminal parents. And I almost forget where I was going with this because I get so off topic. I just get on my rants and I keep going. I could do this for hours. Unfortunately, we run out of time eventually, and I only have 15 minutes left, which is a shame. So they want socialism now, and they've gone full circle, and they're out. And, like I said a little while ago, the milk is spilt, and they're not even blaming it on the dog. They don't care anymore. They're out. And they're pushing this agenda, and they are pushing our children, exploiting our children into this with the help of Hollywood and the education system, our broken education system. Schools have become liberal liberal indoctrination camps. They really, really have. And I can give you 2 really perfect examples. They are indoctrinating our youth. There was a situation that kids are getting suspended for wearing MAGA gear. They're getting suspended, but not suspended for wearing Hillary or Bernie gear, creepy Uncle Bernie. I know a lot of people call Joe Biden that. Joe Biden, I don't call him creepy Uncle Joe. I just call him pedophile Joe. It's just that plain and simple. I put up on our Facebook page, Americanist Radio Facebook page, I put a picture the other day. It was like 4 screenshots. And in like 6, it's over the whole course of his term as vice president. It's just him fondling little girls on stage, on camera. He doesn't care.